Let's move to the question number 4. Show that 2x square plus 5x plus 3 can be written in the form of 2 times x plus a whole square plus b, where a and b are the constant to be found. Okay, we need to convert this format into this format. So we can convert 2x square plus 5x plus 3 into this form by completing square method. So we will apply completing square method. When we take 2 common from first two terms, so we will have x 2x squared, so it will be x squared plus, when we take 2 common from 5, it will be 5 over 2x and remaining plus 3. Now we need to make it complete square, and we know that we have the formula that a plus b whole square is equals to a square plus 2ab plus b. So 2x square plus 2a means x, b. This term should be 5 over 2x. We already have multiplied with 2, so we should divide by 2 also. So 5 over 4 plus, now to make b square in the formula, this is b square. To make the b square, we need this b whole square. So we will add 5 over 4 whole square and subtract 5 over 4 whole square plus 3. Now from here to here, this is the a plus b whole square, so we can write it 2 times x plus 5 over 4 whole square minus 5 over 4 whole square plus 3. Further solving, we will have 2 times x plus 5 over 4 whole square, and 2 times this value is negative 2 times 5 over 4 whole square plus 3. So we can simplify this equation. So we will have 2 times x plus 5 over 4 whole square minus 2, 5 squared is 25 over 4 square is 16. So this will be cancel out and we will have 8 plus 3. For the solving, we will have 2x plus 5 over 4 whole square plus 3 minus 25 over 8. So we can solve it for the 2 times x plus 5 over 4 plus 28 in as a LCM, and 8 times 3 is 24 minus 25. So we can write that 2 times x plus 5 over 4 whole square and minus 1 over 8. So we have converted the quadratic equation in this format, where a is the 5 over 4 and b is the negative 1 over 8. Now write down the coordinates of the stationary point of the curve. So we already have the quadratic equation, which is 2x square plus 5x plus 3. And we know that we have just converted this quadratic equation in this format, this one. So we can write it. It's also equals to 2 times x plus 5 over 4 whole square minus 1 over 8. Now, a stationary point is the point where the derivative is 0. If you derivate this equation and equate it with 0, you can find the x coordinate, and plugging that x coordinate in this equation, you can get the y. This is the one method. Another method, when we look at the graphically, if we have any curve, for example, this is the curve, so maximum point and the minimum point, so these 2 points are the stationary point, because here the derivative is 0. In this point, the derivative is parallel to the x-axis, or you can say that the derivative is 0, and the point where the derivative is 0, we call it stationary point. Okay, this is the quadratic equation, and we know that the coefficient of x square is a, and in this case a is 2, which is positive. So when we have the positive quadratic equation, so the graph will be open up. This is a point which is vertex, is also the stationary point in the quadratic equation. Okay, so this quadratic vertex point can be calculated by using this format. Okay, we know that a times x minus h whole square plus k quadratic equation, and h and k are the vertex of this quadratic equation, which is also the stationary point. So in this case, we can convert this equation we just solved in this quadratic format. So we can write 2 times x minus 5 negative 5 over 4 whole square minus 1 over 8. Okay, this is h and this is k. So we can say that vertex, which is the stationary point, is equals to h and k. So h is negative 5 over 4 and negative 1 over 8. Okay. Now, part C, a function f is such that f of x is equals to 2x squared plus 5x plus 3. For x is greater than and equal to p, where p is the constant. It is given that the f of inverse of x exists. Write down the least possible value of the p. Okay. I just told you that this function, which is the quadratic equation, will have this type of the shape. And this function does not satisfy the horizontal test, because when we draw a horizontal line, so this curve will intersect at more than one point. So we can say that the horizontal test is failed if the curve, when the horizontal line intersect the curve only at one point. So we can say that that function will have the inverse function, because this function, which is the quadratic equation, has failed the horizontal test. It will not have the inverse function. Only one possibility that this function will have the inverse function, that it satisfy the horizontal line test. So how it is possible? When we break this function from here to here and then here to here, either we take this portion or we take this portion. This can be defined by the value of x coordinate. That's why it is given the domain. If you take the portion greater than the vertex towards right side, so this function satisfy the horizontal line test. Or if you take the graph or function from the vertex towards the left side, so that curve will also satisfy the horizontal line. So you can take off of this graph, that graph will have the inverse function. So it is given that the inverse function is exact. The condition for the existence of the inverse function is that the function itself should satisfy the horizontal test. So horizontal test will only satisfy if you take the this half portion or this half portion. So now we know that this curve has a vertex at, we just calculate it in part B, which is negative 5 over 4 or negative 1 over 8. This is the point of the vertex. If I say that coordinate of the function is greater than and equals to negative 5 over 4, this is the point. When x is greater than negative 5 over 4, we will have this function. So you can say that this value is x is greater than h. If we include this point, so it is greater than and equal to h. And if you want to take this graph, so it's mean this x is less than h. Okay, for the existence of the inverse function, either you take this function or this function. It is said that x should be greater than p, so we will greater than and equal to p, so we will take this value. So we have calculated the least possible value, which is negative 5 over 4. So x should be greater than and equal to negative 5 over 4. Now, using your value of p, sketch the graph of y is equal to f of x and y is equal to f inverse of x. Label each graph, state the intercept of each of the graph with the axis. We have the f of x, quadratic equation is equals to 2x squared plus 5x plus 3. And we need to find the intercept. And we know that when x is equals to 0, we get the y intercept, which is f of 0 is equals to 2 times 0 square plus 5 times 0 plus 3, and this one is equals to 3. So we can say that when x is equal to 0, we have the y-intercept 3. This one is 1, 2, and 3. Okay, this is a point. Now, we need to find the x-intercept. For x-intercept, y is equal to 0 means f of x is 0. So plugging this value in the quadratic equation, we will have 2x squared plus 5x minus plus 3 equal to 0. So this quadratic equation can be solved by a factorization. So 2x squared plus 2x plus 3x plus 3 equal to 0. So taking 2x common, we will have x plus 1, and taking 3 common, we will have x plus 1 equal to 0. So 2x plus 3 times x plus 1 equal to 0. So we have the 2x intercept, which is 2x plus 3 equal to 0, and we have the another factor, which is x plus 1 equal to 0. So in this case, x is equal to negative 3 over 2, which is equals to the negative 1.5. Okay, and in this case, we have x is equal to negative 1. Now, it is given that we should use the value of p to sketch this graph, and we know that the value of p is negative 5 over 4. So x should be greater than and equal to negative 1.25, and this one is the p. So this value negative 1.5 is less than negative 1.25, which is p. So it is given that x should be greater than p. So this value is less than p. So we will discard it. On the other side, negative 1 is greater than p, which is negative 1.25. So we can say that we will consider this value. Okay. So we have the x coordinate, which is negative 1.25. So if this one is the 1, so this point will be negative 1.25. Sorry, this one is negative 1. So this one is the vertex. So graph will be, so this is the curve of the f of x. We also need to plot the f inverse of x. It should be noted that x-intercept of f of inverse of x is equals to the y-intercept of f of x. Similarly, y-intercept of f inverse of x is equals to the x-intercept of f of x. In this graph, f of x has the x-intercept, which is negative 1. So f inverse of x will have y-intercept at negative 1. So this one is a negative 1. Similarly, f of x has y-intercept at 3. So the x-intercept of f of x will be 3. So 1, 2, and 3. So x-intercept of f inverse of x is 3. Okay, so this is the curve, or you can say the shape of the f inverse of x when x is greater than or equal to p.